Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to Connect In. Connect In is a weekly broadcast about the many, many important reasons why it's why we should get out of our head and back into our heart. When we get out of our head and back into our heart, we truly can follow our heart and soul's guidance. So what does that look like? I like to think about it as we show up as our most authentic self. I call that shine on, but it's about really knowing, that part in you that knows deep inside that you have this potential. You have these gifts. And it's not necessarily about doing something, but it's about how you are in the world. And so Connect In is this weekly broadcast just to help you get out of the lies that are in your head that hold you back from being your brightest, best self. I'm Damini Celebrate, and I am the author of Painting the Landscape of Your Soul. Painting the Landscape of Your Soul is a book of self-discovery that uses tools for your heart and soul to get you out of the lies of the head and back into your truth. And I do that with a combination of creative and healing modalities. So sometimes when you're listening to this, you may notice that you feel inspired to doodle, draw, move your embodied self. Because I do believe that our body holds the roadmap, the guidance, the directionality, if you will, of how to be and live as our brightest best self. So before I go any further, what I'd like to do is take us all through the process of coming down and inside ourselves, because you may experience that you're kind of trying to settle in. And doing the mantra of breath, belly, feet is really, really helpful to get us in and down, to get us to settle into ourselves. I like to use all my senses when I do this experience because we're creating muscle memory and, or ritual, if you will. And both of those things help just tell our body, our mind, our heart, our soul, okay, we're coming out of the day-to-day yammer. And we're going to come back in to ourselves and listen in here, not necessarily what's just up here or the craziness all around us. So if you can, go ahead and sit comfortably or lie down. Before I even go, I just want to say I really appreciate you showing up and being here right now. I know that we are all busy, mostly busy in our heads. And so I just want to give, a shout out to each of you and say, I am so glad you're here, following your heart's guidance to just explore different tools to connect in. Okay, that being said, let's begin the ritual of coming inside. So if you're driving, keep your eyes open, please. But for the rest of us, allow your eyes to soften. Feel your butt on the chair, your feet on the ground, your body against your couch or bed if you're lying down. And just take a moment and do a body scan. How do you feel in your body? What do you notice in your body? Where is there tightness? Where there's hot and cold? Where is your head just going, wee? Get on with this, lady. It's all good. Now imagine yourself lighting a candle, because there was some fun fact I read a couple years ago that our mind doesn't distinguish between what we're actually doing and what we imagine. And you can ask any elite athlete that, because a lot of their training is mental. Mental, I'm going down this path, I am running at this speed. So we can imagine lighting a candle. Now soften your eyes to a gaze instead of looking. When our eyes are soft, we're actually beginning to drop into our heart space. Great. I am also going to light a little incense, but you can imagine yourself lighting some incense or using a flower essence. Again, engaging your senses, as many as your senses as possible. And I'm going to play a little bit of a singing bowl. Again, allowing sound to bring us deeper and deeper into ourselves. And for you, start bringing your awareness to your breath. Bring your breath down to your belly and bring your breath down to your feet. Simply breath to belly to feet. Notice as your breath comes down into your belly, you are coming out of the chatter of your head. You may begin to feel that you're just a little heavier. A little softer. So take a moment now and notice how you feel in your body. What shifted? When we are in our head, we are thinking about the past, and the future. When we are in our body, we are present in the present moment. And when we are in our body in this present moment, not only are we connected to our heart, but we're actually building energy. Right? So a lot of us can feel tired either when we wake up or throughout the day. And it's because we're caught in the head of shoulda, woulda, couldas. And the simplest way to bring some energy back into your body as an alternative to a cup of coffee or tea is to take a moment and do some breath belly feet. Right? Bring your breath into your belly, bring it down to your feet. And just keep cycling some breathing that way, because that will actually bring some energy in. So what do you notice in yourself? What's different? Today we're going to talk a bit about honoring all that's present in our body, in our heart, in our soul. And some of us on spiritual journeys spend, actually most of us on spiritual journeys or journeys of self-discovery, spend some time untangling old stories, societal beliefs, patterns that we either took on from our family or our ancestors or society. And, a lot of those patterns were to keep us all safe and in check, But as you begin to expand and grow into being your brightest, best self, some of these old patterns get in the way. But what's important is that we just don't tuck them away and say, "Ooh, I don't want to look at that." I think it was last week I was talking about the role of the heart and how the heart's job is to allow all emotions to flow. And if they don't, they create pathology. And so if there are parts of ourselves that we're not really happy with, and we start tucking them into a corner in our unconsciousness or our consciousness, or just really keeping a particular emotion at bay, that takes a lot of energy to keep those unpleasant parts of you away from your consciousness. And so it's more essential, I think, for your health or the evolution of your highest expression of your authentic self, is to kind of know that they're all there, bring them back into the fold, allow them to have expression. And so let's go over to emotions, because I think that's the easiest thing. Let's see. Some of us have a particular emotion that we don't really like to express. And just take a moment and think to yourself, what is that one emotion that I hold back, or I don't show the world, or I don't show myself? And when you even bring your awareness to that, thinking about what that emotion is, what does that do to your body? Like, there are a couple things I like to keep off to the side. Like, I don't really like to get angry, and I really hate to cry. And so when I think about how I don't allow enough space for those two emotions, like, I can actually feel my body contracting a little bit. My throat gets a little tight. I feel like I'm falling into myself. So just take a moment, because we had a reference of what the body was like, what your body was like as you came into breath, belly, feet. So what are those one or two emotions that you really don't show yourself or the world? And how does that make your body feel? I really do believe our body is the barometer. Our body guides us in our transformation with feelings and sensations. You know, that heart, yes, that feels like a really good thing to do, or that no, that doesn't feel like a good thing to do. So again, in this situation, checking in with emotions, you know, just notice how your body responds to those emotions. Yeah. And it's really hard. I get it, for, you know, for somebody to say, okay, I don't let anger show up. And how am I going to express anger? You know, the truth is these emotions that we really keep at bay or tuck down or tap down, you know, we have been so well trained to not allow those emotions to come out, that if giving a permission to allow that emotion come out, it's not going to happen that easy. And that is why I use embodied creativity for self-discovery, for transformational growth, because when we connect in to embodied creativity, to movement, to drawing, to free writing, to doodling and painting, and all of those luscious things, we are not in our mind. We are in the realm of soul and heart. And I do believe that creativity is the language of our soul. So a different way to think about what's, you know, honoring what we're holding back is to, again, we can do this experiment right now, right? If you feel into that emotion that you hold back, just pick one for right now, right? And feel where it is in your body. Bring all your curiosity, all your awareness to that particular part of your body. And for me, I think it's right here in my upper chest. And if I soften my eyes, right, we want to stay in a bodied centered place versus a head centered place, right? Soften your eyes Feel into that and just feel into that place where that emotion is residing. And just ask yourself, what's there? Is there hot and cold or tightness or expansion? Or what does it do? Does it make you nauseous? Does it slow your breath down? Does it make you pant? What is there? Like, all of us have unique experiences, and these things that you're feeling aren't right or wrong. They are just how your body is holding that emotion in check. And so if we bring our full curiosity to that one place, think to yourself, or ask, don't think, right? Ask, what would be a color that represents that feeling in your body? Take the first thing that comes. And then ask yourself, is there a movement that is in there? So sometimes if we're in a place where we're exploring stuck movement, it may feel like it's only going Sometimes, though, a stuck movement could be really like agitated and spinny. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So if you can kind of check into that place where you're holding that one emotion in check, what does it feel like? And if you want, you can go ahead and just move your hand over that place on your body. You can allow your body to do some movement, like what allows that emotion to have a little bit more expression. If we're exploring it with embodied creative practices, how does that emotion want to be expressed? You can just as easily get a pen and put it down on a piece of paper and just say, I feel this. Like, nothing has to make sense. And in fact, the beauty of this is that the less it makes sense, the better you are. The more you are into your soulscape, the more you are into the language of your soul. Creativity is profoundly transformational when we are using embodied creativity to help get ourselves to flow and to not allow these things that we hold back to stay held back. Right? So what's going on in that place right now? Did you allow a little bit movement? What shifted in your body as you touched into that place? And again, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. I like to think, is there a color there? Is there a movement there? If I were to do some free writing, which is just in this place, I feel X, and whatever shows up in words shows up. You don't have to worry about grammar or anything like that. What is there? Part of honoring all that's present is giving whatever is showing up a little space for expression. Not forcing it out, just saying, hey, what's there? And I get that some of those things, some of those feelings, emotions, stories, they can be scary. I get it. But I do believe that when we touch in this sacred space of coming back into our body and allowing our body to express what needs to be expressed through creativity, you only go as far as you can handle, which is really, really beautiful. I sometimes think about this process like, as a kid, there's like scary things under your bed. And, if you were lucky enough to have a parent there that showed up with a flashlight and shined the flashlight. Okay, yeah, I used to do this to my parents all the time. It's like, there's something under my bed, the dark, scary places, right? And they get the flashlight and there it is. There's like a ball, a dust bunny, there's all these kind of things. And so I think about the embodied creative process when you just put the simple intention out to find out what is being held in my body that wants some expression is that flashlight, right? And the embodied creative practices just give you the opportunity to taking the hold away from the tightness in your body, away from, oh, I don't want this emotion to come out, whatever that is. Does that make sense to you all? It's the path for us to live as our brightest, best, most authentic self is about expression, about authentic expression and the freedom to be all aspects of ourselves, right? If we keep asking our body, what's next? What's next? What wants to be expressed? What you're doing is just allowing a little bit more full body, mind, heart, soul expression, some freedom, to give you some freedom. So those parts that we hold back, right? Those parts that we don't even know are holding us back, when we touch them, when they kind of float into our head or contract us in our body, the first invitation is to say, oh, hi, hello, and honor all that expression, honor what shows up with some movement, some curiosity, some writing. Believe it or not, this will help you free up, help unshackle yourselves from those limitations that hold you back, will help give you more vitality. And the really good news is you cannot think yourself out of this. I really do believe the way through is to go in, come into your body, let your heart guide you, and allow your soul to express itself through the embodied creative practices. Now, if these embodied creative practices, if this whole journey is exciting to you, then I invite you to join my membership group, which is called Creative Alchemy. Alchemy is really all about taking all that heavy, dense BS that keeps us down and allowing it to transform us into our light. And the creativity is the embodied creative practices that are soul governed, that are heart governed, and certainly not mind governed. So if this resonates with you, check out my website over at DaminiCelebrate.com. The link will be in the notes below. If this resonates with you and you think there are other people that will be like, hey, I really like this idea, like podcasts like this, share. You know, the more that we can invite other people to be in their fullest expression, yeah, the better the world's going to be. I totally believe that. So take a moment now, soften your eyes. How do you feel in your body? What do you notice? Do one more round of breath to belly to feet. Place your hands on your heart and just say thank you. Thank you, body. Thank you, heart, for guiding me into being, into exploring my truest, authentic self. Okay, if you have any insights, go ahead and share them in the comments as well. So until next week, breath, belly, feet, feel into your body and invite flow. Invite some flow to come back into your life. Mwah.